Well, good afternoon, everyone. It's about 4 here in the UK. I suppose that's about 11 American Eastern Time. And it's Tuesday, the 20th of December. All of the trends, folks, on VectorVest USA have turned down. So short-term trend is down, medium-term trend is down, underlying trend is down, and the longest-term measure of the trend on VectorVest is down for 4 trading sessions now. The number of shares on a buy recommendation compared to those on a sell recommendation has fallen and fallen quite hard over the last week. Clearly that's a function of the rather hawkish talk that we saw or heard from Powell last Wednesday night. So today, markets are holding. Maybe we're ready for a little bit of a bounce, but let's have a look at the VectorVest composite and see what we can see. So that's the VectorVest composite, folks, over the last year. And I've marked the longest term measure of the trend on VectorVest, and that, as you can see, has been reflecting this bear market all year. And the rallies have been very small indeed, just a few days here, just a few days. Many of my friends, in fact, told me that this setup to short the market somewhere up around here was too simple. It was too obvious that this trend line would work. But certainly after that little bit of a head and shoulders reversal in there, market has fallen. And I think we were down, I don't keep these sort of records, but I think it was down about 7% in 2 or 3 sessions last week. So that's the longest term measure of the trend on VectorVest, the confirmed call. It's a very serious signal, and it is down. I think we're probably due for a little bit of a bounce here. I'll put on a short-term indicator in a second. Now, if we look at the medium-term measure of the market, which I, in fact, use for my own calls, and that's what it's done. That's over the last 6 months, and this has given some really good signals for swing trades. This is the June-July move up. It gives a little bit more data. And as you can see, that wasn't the best signal in the world, but it tumbled out of bed here. So on that particular chart, if you've been trading long or short, you would have had one very good trade, one very good trade, 2 very good trades, 3 very good trades, 4 good ones. This one is the money, and your stop should be at entry. This one, I think, maybe you got out of it with a little bit of loss, but nevertheless, some exceptionally good signals from the DEW market timing indicator. And most of my trades over the last couple of days, as you know, I trade intraday for a living, and those have all been short positions. So an awful lot of air down here. If we do put on my 8-day stochastic, we can see the 8-day stochastic is now in a oversold position. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see a push up here, but the only reality is the VectorVest measures of the trend, folks, and those measures of the trend are down at the moment. If we have a look at the intraday chart, that's the intraday chart, and I was, in fact, short of it most of this. I took a sneaky little long based on that stochastic earlier, and I'm just about to be stopped out on that. It was up quite nicely the last time I looked. I got in at 18, it went up to 33, 34, but before I started the video, I brought the stop up to entry, so I think I'm going to be stopped out of that any second now. The entry point was just at that little blue line. So probably a stupid trend, solidly down. I thought the market was due for a little bit of a bounce, and it would seem that I was incorrect in that. So folks, in terms of stocks to buy, it's not, if we go back to VectorVest here, VectorVest does not advocate buying stocks at this time. This is incredibly good advice. I did an hour presentation, hour and 15-minute presentation to VectorVest UK clients yesterday. We looked at some outstanding stocks that have come through this battering reasonably well, but in all of them, it's still too early to be a buyer, I think, and I'm going to leave it myself onto the new year. In my portfolio in the UK, I'm quite happy with what I've got, but I'm only 35% invested, 65% in cash, and I wouldn't be at all surprised to see more downside over the next week or two. This is just trying to get up, but as you saw on the 15-minute chart, not succeeding at all, being knocked up here at these highs. So the bears in charge of the environment, and it's best to stand aside. And certainly in the US stock market, in my swing trading, I'll be standing aside until I get a buy signal from this DEW indicator, which has stood me in very good stead over the last few years in swing trading. So just like to take a few minutes to wish you Merry Christmas. I'll do one of these again between Christmas and New Year, but have a great holiday, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Yeah.